Greetings. Welcome to the brand new Scrubbed Apple Cast. The Scrubbed Apple podcast belonging to Scrubbed Apple Boy. Today is Friday, the 3rd of January. I hope everybody listening has had an at least decent, New Year's, Christmas, too. That wasn't too long ago. Not too long ago at all. A little over a week ago. If you do not know me, my name is Scrubbed Apple Boy. I am the Apple Boy. I am the official Apple Boy. I decided to make this podcast because podcasts are frankly amazing. I don't have any place for camera work right now, though, so for now it'll be audio, which podcasts are audio mainly, just audio. It's a podcast. Today, discussions will be made. True discussions. First of all, YouTube. My other channel before I had my other channel, which the link is in the description if you're not from that channel. Scrubbed Apple Boy. That channel is good. Subscribe to that channel. That's where uploads will be more often. Podcasts here will probably be around once a week, but uploads over there, a number of different things. It's packed. All right. YouTube. I'm sure it's not the greatest time to start a lot of stuff on YouTube, with things just kind of spiraling more and more out of control. But at the same time, I don't care. I seem to think I can be pretty funny whenever I set my mind to it. A lot of people I know also hold that belief. I definitely hold that belief. I think that if I have the time to plan something great, to be able to write a script, to be able to put something together, it can be pretty decent, pretty funny. I think that I think that I can be pretty creative too. What will be on that channel, what is gonna be on that channel, is just that it's a number of things. But that doesn't matter. What matters is this podcast, which I'll be starting. Episodes probably once a week. Stay tuned for all of that. Probably will have some camera work soon once I can find out a good way to do that. Right now I don't have the time to set everything up. Something I want to talk about. Writing is a great hobby of mine. I am almost completely revolved around writing, storytelling, writing anything, writing songs, stories. It's not just being able to put your creativity out just on paper, it's not just being able to release the floodgates that hold back all that flows in your mind, the floodgates you have to have closed so that you're not talking about some wizard or some crap at a get together. You gotta have those floodgates. You can't just let everything that goes through your head just open up in front of everybody all the time. That can set people off, that can scare you. But the ability to be able to just unleash all of that on the paper and just write out what all you can do is just it's amazing. But that's not just it, it's just the satisfaction of the pencil on the paper, and the satisfaction of having something to complete, something that you can really enjoy. Writing, I'm sure a lot of people could look at it like, I really wouldn't want to do that. It doesn't fit me. I think there's some sort of branch of writing that can help anybody, and I say help because it is very therapeutic. And without writing, I would be in a lot of a darker place than I am. It's how you can take out anger and just the darkness and do something with it. And it's amazing. And I just want to say that writing is a huge passion of mine. I write a lot, and I will have a lot of discussions about writing. It wouldn't be just all about writing, of course, but like right now I'm working on 2 projects. One of them is really big. One of them is a massive project of mine that I have very, very high hopes for. I'm not going to get too far into all that right now, but I will say, and I mean, I just suggest anybody, it doesn't matter who you are, just to find a part in writing that can help you. Because I'm sure there's something, whether it can even be informational essays, some type of, it can be movie scripts, it can be anything. And you can turn that therapy for yourself into something just absolutely amazing. Something beyond amazing. Something that, people just don't understand. It's everybody's always looking for like a certain path that they can set themselves on. When anybody can write, they put their mind to it. Doesn't matter if you can't write that well, you don't have great grammar. You can hire editors. I mean, as long as you have some sort of motivation to do something, especially writing, there's just so much you can do with it. It is a free just canvas writing. It really is. It's an amazing thing. And I can't even, I just can't explain it exactly, but it's amazing. Everybody should try something like that at least like once. Just give it a shot. And I mean, music is another huge passion of mine. I love to sing. Singing is amazing to me. It is also very therapeutic for a lot of people, and anybody can sing. Singing isn't sure, people can be born, naturally just kind of have a good voice, but it doesn't matter how you sound now. Anybody can improve and anybody can sing amazing if they just sit, if they just follow that path and actually act on it. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Music is just, I am in marching band. I am in high school marching band. And if I wasn't in marching band, if I never joined, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Marching band is amazing. For me, anyway. It has been the greatest experience of my life so far. The competitions, the football games, just being there and expressing that talent. And I put so much of myself into music. I play the euphonium, and that's honestly pretty much the only instrument I can play. But, There's room for me to learn. I think on it. I think on it a lot. Trying to figure out some other thing to work on, but that and singing again. Root rock, which is like folk rock. Just folk, like contemporary folk and country, that kind of music. I prefer to sing and write, and I love it. I love it, and very intense ballads. Just songs about like I don't know, revengeance. Yeah, revenge. I mean, whatever. And you just gotta find what's right for you in that too. It all comes back around to that kind of thing. And I mean, that has also just helped me an unbelievable amount. I just say everybody can be immensely creative if they set it on to something that fits them. It can be writing, music, drawing, anything. Like I can't draw. Like I've tried, I've worked on it for years and years. I can't draw. That doesn't mean I don't love doing it, but I can't do it well. But I even tried doing comics and stuff. They weren't bad, I'd say. They had good story, but I mean I just can't draw that well. But writing, that's where I fit most of my creativity. And it's good to just search for that. Don't always be focused on just whether it be whatever people think, even what you think of yourself. If you think bad of yourself, then prove yourself wrong. Be as great as you believe you can be, and don't always just focus on the stress in your life whenever you can just take it out on something using creativity. Art, any kind of art is just, it's amazing. I can't even explain it. It's just, you find that over anything else, and it'll make your whole life 100% better. I promise that. You just gotta find what's in your heart. You may not know right now. You may not be able to think, oh, I think singing would be better for me. I think drawing. You may not know that at the moment. You may not be able to comprehend that yet. But just experiment. And there's all kinds of things, all kinds of styles. There's different writing aesthetics, styles, and it goes for everything: singing, drawing, like anything, handiwork, whatever, build a statue, build it, whatever, it's just, there's so much you can do with so little resources that can pretty much save your life from yourself. From that negative energy that can make a buildup in you. And everybody has some sort of everybody has those negative thoughts, but people can take them out. And if people can take it out on something, and people can choose to block that kind of stuff. But the thing is that a lot of times if you try and block that, it can just build up, and it can start from any little thing. It can be like, oh man, I wonder if that person doesn't like me. I don't like it whenever people don't like me. I don't like it whenever especially if that person. And then I guess in a way you could say it ripples, and it'll ripple out and out. And it'll spread to other things. It'll be, well, I bet they don't like me either. They're talking to them. What if they're talking? And then it all just spreads to different things until you're getting all this stress from any little mishap, and you can develop all kinds of just issues from that, and it can happen to absolutely anyone. And a lot of times you can see it in other people. A lot of times you can't see it in other people, and they don't think they need help. And a lot of times, the happiest people are the saddest. A lot of times, the happiest people who have wonderful home life, people who have all this bright, happy energy, you think nothing can ever be wrong with them, nobody does them any harm. A lot of times, it's just themselves breaking them down inside and putting on that mask. And you don't want to be like that. You don't want... People may like the style, for some reason, of being a dark, edgy kind of person, but nobody actually wants to spiral into something so dark and horrible. And I mean, it can just turn you into something... It can turn you into a villain, not for yourself, but even for other people. It can ruin your consciousness. It can just tear you to pieces from the inside out up until you see no other direction except the end. In a way, to not let that energy block up and just end up spreading and tearing you apart is to just open up on something. And it's a good thing to talk to somebody, but if you're able to, if it's to the point where you don't need to, and you can understand that, then you might be able to help yourself if you just face the fact that there is a problem. Because anybody can be that way, and people around you, you may never know. It's always good to just be the person who says hi and check up on them, and let them know. Like, you can be subtle about it. Just anybody around you, because you don't know what they're going through. Just be like, what are your interests? And talk to them about it. Make them more interested in doing stuff like that, and it can really help them. They don't necessarily need to admit, as long as they can help themselves. And if you're having any issues like that, it's really unbelievably therapeutic. You'll never even imagine it until you actually do it. I started writing whenever I was about, I'd say 6 or 7, actually. I've been writing a ton since, different things, and just letting my mind go off into all these different genres, and it has helped me a lot. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I have a great life. I have the privileges of having good TV, computers, and I got a good home life, good friends. But it was just something inside of me that was just eating me up. But all this stuff can really help. And it's saved my life. But yeah, I've been writing for a very long time. And I've enjoyed doing it a lot, as I've said. One of my favorite genres to write, I almost always write narratives. They're almost always the third person. But my favorite genre is typically adventure, action, a little bit of romance, and something where there's a change in a character, like a huge drastic change. Every story should have character development, but mine, I choose to have characters go from absolute rock bottom, or the other way around, from being the prime of their life or whatever, just just a whole 180, just completely around. It can really, that's just, I don't know. I just feel it makes it a good, it just makes it interesting, very interesting, to see, and it's a realistic feature in humans to just be able to reverse like that. But I like to write about supernatural things. I like to write a lot of fantasy stuff, it's good, it's fun. It is very pleasurable. It is indeed. And Twitter. This is a completely different than what I was just talking about. But Twitter. I have Twitter. Like everybody has Twitter, or should have Twitter. It is great, right? It can be great. It can be good. But it also can't. It can be the complete opposite. I mean, it can be horrible. But it's great. It's great to have it, just to see updates. And I have that. Follow me on Twitter. The Twitter will also be in the description. There's no special podcast Twitter or something. It's just the Scrubbed Apple Boy Twitter. But, follow that. And you'll receive more updates, more memes, just stuff from there, from me. Also, apparently Adam Sandler, his Twitter got hacked recently. I'm following Adam Sandler on Twitter, and it was pretty weird, I saw the tweets before everything got washed. His Twitter's back to normal now and everything. From what I can tell, but something I don't know anything about it, but apparently his Twitter got hacked, and it was posting a lot of sexist, racist, just violent, horrible stuff, and it was honestly pretty weird. I mean, if you follow SpongeBob Facts on Twitter, they replied to one of them, with a quick, funny, but that's pretty crazy. I've not really, in my time on Twitter, I hadn't really encountered anything like that from a big person up there. I mean, I've witnessed people being doxxed and exposed, but not hacked, I mean, there's leaking, always experience leaking, but I don't know. I just haven't experienced that yet. And some of those tweets were absolutely horrible. I don't know who kind of sets their path on something like that. I've got to take his Twitter and ruin his reputation. First of all, it's obvious he didn't just do that. Second of all, why? That's just such a waste of time in your life, and it's very, very illegal. To do something but yeah, Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Scrubbed Apple Boy. That's not the @ but that's the @ is Boy Scrubbed, or you can just click the link in the description. That also works. Anyway, I've not been able to accomplish a lot in production. Just starting off. I'll just rise as I go. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, oh, I better buy an amazing camera and, save up money for all this stuff at the start. I wait on all that stuff until I can actually do it comfortably and just work up to it instead of just trying to rush it all to do that and then finally start it off. It's good to get a quick following. Something small at first just to start all that off. Also, this might be a little shorter of a podcast just because it's the first one. And I don't know. It might be a little shorter. As podcasts usually are, they should be on average probably an hour, maybe an hour, 10 minutes, but this one might be a little shorter than that. I don't know yet. And they're not live, as you can tell. They won't be live, at least for a little bit, and even then, at least until I can make a following where people would actually tune in live. And even then, it'd be every now and then, wouldn't be that often. There'll be different sections, different, I'm forgetting the word, different segments. There we go. Segments. And typically it'll be pretty much uncut, not really that edited, just natural, just in the moment. Any cut would be just for some interruption, if I don't have somebody else on who could talk while I'm fixing the interruption, like if there's something I needed to do, camera, battery, mic, whatever. So there's that. Anyway, a little more on music. Music, I've already talked about a little bit, of course, but honestly, in all honesty, I think I sing pretty good. I have a good bass voice. I have an alright baritone voice, but any higher than that, not so good. I do sing darker things. I'll sing, a lot of ballads. But those you might not right now, but in the future, you might find some kind of musical production on my main channel. I don't know yet. Most of the songs I write are a cappella. But the still. Mostly ballads, that sort of thing. If you don't like that, then there'll be a mix, and sometimes very loud stuff, sometimes very quiet, mellow. All of the songs will have usually two meanings. There's the plain, straightforward meaning, and then the underlying meaning. Like the song I'm working on right now called "An Island in the Mist." It's about depression, but not depression, more of other mental illnesses, just like all together in one, ruining somebody to a breaking point. And it's about a sailor who went crazy, saw an island in the mist. Nobody else saw it. The ship crashes, but it's all in his head. In reality, he killed the whole crew and then himself. And it's his spirit talking to a person floating lost at sea on a raft. But that kind of it's usually a lot of mellow stuff, but sometimes it can be upbeat. Sometimes I'll have my friends help be involved with that kind of thing. Coffee. I am now going to be talking about coffee, because why not? I don't have coffee, and I was supposed to have coffee because I wanted coffee right now for the podcast. But you know what? Screw that. Because I didn't do it, and I should have. And now I'm sad that I didn't. But coffee is amazing. We get Folgers. Classic roast, but I don't know. Just coffee in general. I don't necessarily care about the brand. I do care about the creamer, or what's all in it, a lot. Usually it's just typically French vanilla or milk and sugar. We don't really get coffee out, but I get it here, and it's amazing. I don't like just plain black coffee. But I mean, it depends on the kind of coffee, I guess. But there's got to be something in it. It tastes more burnt to me than just roast, than just a dark roast. It just tastes burnt. I don't know if that's a flaw on how I make the coffee. That might be but I don't know. That's just kind of the thing. I don't know. I don't really drink a lot of stuff. I mean, I drink a lot because I have like some kind of, I don't know. I'm just unnaturally thirsty. It's like chronic cotton mouth, but it's all the time. I always just need a drink. But I'm gonna drink a lot of water. Tea is great. Tea is amazing, absolutely amazing, and I love milk. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I drink. Coffee, milk, tea, and water. That's kind of it. I don't drink a lot of and And if I don't drink coffee, because by this point I drink coffee a lot, but I drink coffee a lot, and so by this point I can't like not like I have bad caffeine withdrawal from it. So a day that I don't drink coffee, I get daily headaches anyway. I just have daily headaches. It's like I think I have migraines every 3 days. I'll have like a migraine, but other than that, it's just a headache every day. And usually they're very faint, but if I don't drink coffee, they are almost unbearable. Like on the brink of crying just about every day because of the caffeine withdrawal. So yeah, I do drink a lot of coffee, mostly just for the flavor. It doesn't really energize me as much. It does more so long term. Like I'll go throughout the day whether I drink coffee or not, aside from the headache, except for like hours and hours later. If I didn't drink coffee that day, then around 6 hours later, I'll crash harder. That's about it. From that, it's mostly just for flavor, and it just hits that spot. You know what I mean? Caffeine. Tea isn't nearly as caffeinated. I mean, I can drink a couple of glasses of tea, in the morning, and it wouldn't be as bad of a headache, but I can't really substitute it as well. So essentially, yeah, and I usually bring coffee wherever I'm going. Usually just school. I have to bring coffee with me. Yeah, coffee is my whole soul. I need that. And if you subscribe to my other channel, or if you're coming from that channel, which you might be, then you'll know that I drink a lot of coffee in video. Or I will be drinking a lot of coffee in video. I'll just be drinking a lot in the video in general, again, because I almost always have to have some sort of drink. But I actually don't right now, and I probably should. So I will real quick, and since I'm leaving these uncut, there will be a very short period of silence. I will return. I have returned. So I have gotten up to get a bottle of water because I need to. I need the water. But Christmas for me was pretty good. I know it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit, not too long. It's been around 9 days or so, but Christmas was great. I hope yours was too. Christmas is for me, mostly Christmas is just the holiday period before Christmas. That's the biggest impact on me. Of course, and that's why it's my favorite holiday, is just the joy and jolliness of Christmas. I love all the lore with Santa and Krampus and all this stuff. I just love that kind of stuff. And like, I love kind of a Christmas horror aspect too, in a lot of things like movies. Krampus. I love the movie Krampus. It's neat. I love it. It's a great. Just I don't know, like I love to write about that sort of stuff, because it's like it's like an opposite kind of thing, you know? Christmas is such a jolly, happy time, just being slammed with terror. I mean, it's great. I love it. And I love kind of dark humor Christmas stuff too. Or not dark humor, but like raunchy comedy in Christmas movies. I love that kind of stuff. It's amazing to me. And I love memes. Memes are fantastic. I don't know who doesn't like some sort of meme. You've even got you've even got Generation X with their Facebook mom memes, you know, the Minion memes, whatever. Then you know, it differs though. You know, I don't know what you'd really classify as a meme anymore, because a meme could be just about, you know, anything that you want to call a meme. But you know, me, a Gen Z, we have just absolute piles of nonsense and irony and satire, and that's beautiful to me. It's beautiful. I mean, it's just fantastic. And then you've got the baby boomers with their what kind of memes? They don't do that a lot, do they? I can't picture a meme for a baby boomer, actually. But, you know, screw them. We don't care. Millennials have their memes about disliking life, ironically. About, I don't know, Twitter kind of memes, that bullcrap, like that boomerclat, I don't know how it's pronounced, that crap on Twitter with the reaction images, you know, that kind of, I don't know, but you know, memes, there's some kind of meme that can fit like everybody. I'm sure everybody likes their own kind of memes. I would say I like offensive memes, but the word offensive in memes has been kind of watered down to being something people comment on Instagram photos saying, follow me, I post offensive memes. But I like the real offensive memes, and not offensive like hating on people, but offensive more so that like it'd be offensive to me. Like if I was normal, I would look at that and be like, hey, that kind of hurts. But then I'd look at it and be like, ha, me, but like in a bad way, you know? So that's the other thing with memes. I don't think I've genuinely laughed at a meme in 2 years. It's always just kind of a breath. And I mean, that's a meme in itself, but like, in all honesty, I cannot say I've like, videos, you know, that's a different thing. Like, I don't know, skits and stuff like Gus Johnson, Shirtley's, that kind of thing. That's different. You know, I laugh at those. Those are amazing. But just normal image memes, it's, yeah. And I like just the nonsense memes too. Those are probably some of my favorites. But if also another thing about me is that I'm always on a journey to find out pointless pieces of knowledge and that kind of thing. Just be able to find out that kind of stuff. Stuff like cannibalism isn't technically illegal as long as you own the rights to like the body, you know, like your kid dies or something, you have the choice of how to bury him in your tummy. As long as you didn't kill the person, and as long as you have some sort of permission to eat them, whether they put it in their will for some reason, or you, again, like your kid. But, you know, there's that, and, I mean, there are a lot of freaky laws out there. There are a ton of odd laws. Quotes, though, from the past are amazing, too. Quotes are one of my favorite things, just in general, too. Like past quotes, usually some kind of meaningful thing. Honestly, I don't have many memorized. One of the quotes I've had memorized since like sixth grade is a Confucius quote. Find a job you'll love and you'll never work a day in your life. And I love that quote. Everybody's heard that before, I'm sure, but it is my all-time favorite quote. Also, if you know me, I love politics, but I don't really belong to any party. I'm an independent, but I love politics. I don't love it like I don't like devote anything to it or anything, but I just love talking about it and stating how I think on things. A lot of people will be like, I don't have an opinion on politics, but just for controversy's sake. But I do, and I'll admit that, I'll probably rarely talk about politics, but if I do, it'll be no filter. So warning on that. And me being an independent, my beliefs fall on just whoever's better. It's not like, oh, they're Democrat, automatically, love what they're saying or any bullcrap like that. It's just genuinely, whatever they're doing, if I think it's right, then I think it's right. And then I mean, it's just simple. But, go back to how George Washington didn't want political parties. He said it was horrible for this country. And frankly, I believe it is. It's just splitting this country. And it's not good. But, just in general politics, I just love discussing it, love reading about it. I won't make any kind of statement here today, but, and I don't know, I love that kind of thing, and I love seeing what's going on out in the world. But yeah, and more on, like, George Washington, he's alright. He was an alright dude. He was pretty great, as a military general, commander. Like, alright, a bunch of farmers and blacksmiths against a gigantic kingdom, that literally owned like 1/3 of the planet at the time. And us winning, that's pretty bizarre. Thank you, my dude, George. But as a president, it's 50-50, so. He was alright. Wasn't anything too bad about him as a president. And he was very wise. He was a wise man. My favorite president, and a lot of people would say this, but like it's not just like, oh, it's slavery, but like my favorite president is Abraham Lincoln. And not just for like the Civil War, slavery, gone, whatever, any bullcrap like that, but any bullcrap like that people are like, that's like everybody's go-to thing for him is like, but like, yeah, I'm glad, that's good. Heck yeah. Thank you, my dude. That's great. But he still wasn't exactly not racist. He didn't believe that they deserved equal rights. He just didn't believe and he wasn't an abolitionist. He didn't believe it should all just be stopped at once. He believed it should be an in-time thing. From what I've read about anyway. And this isn't why I like him. I like him because he was an honest and very smart man. And he made a lot of great choices, especially in the war. And a lot of people misunderstand the Emancipation Proclamation, but I'm not going to get into any of that right now. But yeah, he's my favorite president. Anyway, moving on from stuff like that. More just advice for doing things. This is gonna sound kind of lazy, but if you want to do something, then do it. Don't, unless it's like evil or something, of course. But like what I'm saying is, if it's a good thing and you know that it's good for you, then don't spend so much time thinking about it and pondering it, and then missing the opportunity, and then just spending more time thinking about what if. Don't think about that. Just do it. That's all it takes, really. And anyway, enough of just stuff like that. We've got some time left. Cooking is another one of my favorite hobbies. Cooking is amazing. It is, again, also very therapeutic. There's a lot. There's a lot that I can't cook, of course, and there's a lot that I can, but I don't think that I am the best cook or anything. I think I'm pretty alright, but I don't think, and I just love doing it, and having the satisfaction of saying, you made this, that's neat, and it's like, and it goes back from like, you're a little, having everybody cook for you, your parents or whatever, and then being able to, and then just slowly growing from that. I started cooking whenever I was about, I don't know, 12, around 12 was whenever I was first learning how to cook. But that's, I don't know. There are certain things that I love cooking. I love stirring anything, mixtures. I love pasta. I love cooking pasta, and pasta's amazing. My favorite food of all time is sushi. Sushi is amazing to me. Sushi, because you see sushi, for a lot of people, it's like a half and half thing, and it's either you love it or you absolutely hate it. And then there's like, of course, the people, who's just never tried it, but I love it. Like, I love it so much. I can't even explain it. It is just amazing. It's great. It is my top favorite food because I don't like, I don't like a lot of grocery store quality sushi kind of has that odd sticky texture, that where it's like stickier than it should be, and it's kind of rough. But just sushi in general though, as long as it's a decent quality, it's like, it's good, I can't think of my favorite roll. I'd say probably California roll. Yeah. And some stuff about me, I guess, more like some stuff other than just hobbies. I'm Scrubbed Apple Boy, otherwise known as Andrew Lambert, and I am from North Carolina. I don't live in North Carolina anymore, but I'm from North Carolina. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. A beautiful place. I love North Carolina just in general so much. Amazing state. Currently I live in Tennessee. Small town Tennessee. Not actually that small, but it's not that small, but it's not that big either. Sorry, I did have to cut because there was a short altercation with the shrimp salesman who lives in my backyard. But I am currently outside. You might be able to hear the rain because of the altercation with the shrimp salesman who lives in my backyard. But, basically, I'm ending it here. This is the first podcast, and the others will obviously be a lot better. I'll have something more written for them. might have people on every now and then. But I hope you enjoy it. And if you did, make sure you stay tuned for more once a week. There should be once a week. And if not, there's a perfectly good reason for it that will most likely be on my main channel and or my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my main channel, Scoped Apple Boy, if you haven't already. Link will be in the description. And in my bio, along with my Twitter. Stay tuned. See you guys in the next one.